In case you didn't know already, in Subnautica 2, they confirmed that the repair tool used welding implementation to fix and put together titanium-based pieces. Sadly, however, we never actually get to see this properly done in-game, as the repair tool acts as a convenient fix-all, and the game mechanics just tell you to point a dang thing at something and it fixes itself. However, as I am a professional welder currently in training, I decided to use the knowledge of my own, as well as some of my teacher's knowledge, and do some extra research to see how much it would cost, in theory, to have a professional weldment done on 4546B. Short disclaimer. This video is heavily inspired by Larry from the Basement's series on Subnautica housing prices. I got permission directly from him to reference Larry's wet rentals in the video. Huge thanks to Larry from the Basement and Bowland for giving me some ideas for this video. Another note is that I am not an underwater welder. I have had to do some research, but finding a lot of this has been quite hard, so a lot of things may be incorrect. I tried my best. Also, I had to make up a lot of things for this video because certain aspects required to do proper weldments just don't exist. So we're taking some creative liberties as per usual. I tried to keep them rooted in reality, just more futuristic. But with that being said, please enjoy the video. Hello, and welcome to Turtle's Waterproof Welds. My name is X, founder, owner, and top welder at this great company. You probably know us from our parent company, Turtle's Welded Shells, founded by my late father, all the way back in the Andromeda Galaxy. I sought to bring welds to this beautiful planet, and my father gave me permission to come here in order to make him proud. We have been partnered with a few businesses here and there that use habitat repair or laser cutting technology in their operations. A more recent business partner of ours, as well as a very well-known one, is Larry's Wet Rentals. Recently, though, I've decided to start accepting private contracts from none other than you, the residents of this beautiful planet. So, that means that we should talk costs. After all, if there's one thing we are known for in Andromeda, it is our great welds for very competitive prices. Please note that in this video we will be talking about separate private contracts from you, and not about requested services from our business partners. It is entirely up to our partners to disclose price increases resulting from proper weldment that we do if they so choose. Our business partners will get separate pricing than private contractors simply because of business expenses. One thing that we are not changing from our parent company in Andromeda is our very competitive $23 hourly rate for both repair and construction services, as well as the mandated short repair fee that we add in if a repair takes less than an hour, which is an extra $5, mandated by our parent company and titled the short fix fee. On top of these, we also charge 2 additional fees on both the repair and construction services, the hazard and material fee. The material fee is a small fee based off of how much of our material, called filler rods, is used. We charge $1 per filler rod. Note that we only use the best materials for any sort of weldment. As most of these habitats and applications are titanium-based with lithium for durability, we use a specific rod that is a titanium core coated in a additional lithium layer for durability and further coated in a thin copper coat to prevent oxidization. These rods are about 1/2 a meter in length, and as a standard repairable habitat breach is about 1 meter, it would take 2 rods and therefore $2 in cost to repair it. For the hazard fee, we base it on a rating system, 1 through 5, with hazard 1 being the safest and 5 being just about guaranteed death. We have placed each biome on the planet accordingly and will briefly go over them. Danger level 1, safe shallows, kelp forest, and grassy plateaus. These are by far the safest biomes on the crater. The only real threats here are a few fish that seem to enjoy blowing the fuck up, manatees that are regretting eating space Taco Bell, and a few sharks that are so bad at swimming straight that they make drunk drivers look sober. The real major hazard here is there are a few areas bordering places like the crash site or the dunes. Therefore, we have placed the pricing of this at an extra $20 per hour. Danger level 2, sparse reef, North Mushroom Forest, floating island, mountain island, and sea turtle's bath. Unlike the majority of hazard 1 areas, these areas share many close borders with hazard 3 and up areas. One wrong move and you're swimming in the dunes, not to mention most of the areas here are a few hundred meters deep. The mountain island is the start of seeing warpers, which really like messing with you if you're sick. The floating island is actively falling the fuck apart, and sea treaders accidentally crush you with their feet. As such, we have decided to place this at an extra $30 an hour for hazard fee. In Danger Level 3, cragfields, underwater islands, blood trench, bulb zone, jellystream caves, and eastern mushroom forest. These areas are a combination of bordering a leviathan-rich biome, having active predators with bites strong enough to rip titanium, volcanic activity, or just straight up having a leviathan right next to it at its border. All of these areas are a few hundred meters deep at least, and are just all around not pleasant to be in, as it feels like you are actively being hunted. As such, we've decided to price the hazard pay at an extra $40 an hour. Danger Level 4, Deep Grand Reef, Dunes, Northern Blood Kelp Zone, Mountains Crash Site, and Lost River. These biomes are home of most of the most lethal creatures this part of the planet, on top of the remaining presence of the other predators from Hazard 3, by the way. These biomes are where we see an increase of Reaper Leviathans, named after death itself, and the young Ghost Leviathans, who grow up to go inhabit the void. Not only that, but some of these areas are just straight up toxic to be in, such as the remaining radiation from the Aurora's crash site, as well as the brine pools within the Lost River. Lastly, the Lost River is the only biome to naturally have access to the Hazard 5 biomes. As such, we have placed the hazard pay at an extra $50 an hour. Danger Level 5, the lava zones. So, just cutting the professional crap, the actual apex predator of this crater lives here, and it's just a straight up fucking dragon that has the ability to just swallow you and your vehicles whole, or slap you miles away, and also can breathe fireballs. Plus, a lot of lava, which actively makes keeping metal together quite difficult, and a few fish that have evolved somehow to eat electricity straight from your vehicle. Welding in a location like this almost never really happens, and if it's actually done, it's almost never done by private contractors such as yourself, and always requires additional training. Bad news is that we are almost guaranteed to die. Good news is that the person doing the welding is either guaranteed to get paid bank or will have their family paid absolute bank. This sort of contract is not actually paid an hourly rate. Instead, it is paid one large hazard fee, as well as a transportation fee per contract, with the hazard fee being $500,000 per contract, and the transportation being $10,000 in and of itself. Also, our technicians cannot do more than 5 of these before they are forced to retire. And some of our less healthy technicians are not even able to do 1 of these. We want our technicians to survive. For today's service demo, we are specifically looking at a site on the border of the grassy plateaus and the Bloodkill Trench. For these border prices, we simply charge the price of the higher danger due to hazards potentially leaking through the border, and also because if we didn't, there is a high chance that we would be doing work for the hazard pay of grassy plateaus while mostly working in the dunes. We're not making that mistake again. So, let's look at what this job would cost. This is a standard repair job. We have 5 breaches within the moon pool, 4 breaches in the main room. And both rooms will take roughly 1 hour to properly complete, therefore it is a long repair. And as there are 9 breaches in total, we will be using roughly 18 filler rods. Totaling up all of the prices and doing the math, this contract cost our client around $135. This next job is a standard construction job. The site is Blood Trench, so 3rd tier hazard, as previously stated, and the job is to weld 2 moon pools together and to the large room connections. Now, we do these jobs in pairs to minimize the amount of time we are spent in a hazard area. So, each moon pool takes us about 2 hours each, and due to odd seams in the moon pool, we have found that it takes roughly 30 welding rods to fill them together, so $30 material. Calculating all of these prices up, our client spent about $312 on this. Now, yes, I'm aware that this is a little pricey. However, welds done by us have been proven to last decades. We always charge high to ensure that not only can we give our welders the best experience and keep them happy, but also to ensure that we can always motivate our welders to give their 100% and create the best welds that will last lifetimes. Now, I understand that you may not want to pay this all the time. And for those of you who often use our services, we have a solution. In order to get great discounts on everything, simply pay a little bit, about $50 a month, and you can sign up for our Shell Weld subscription. This lets us provide not only priority welding for our private contractors, but also higher tiers allow us to provide you with a personal welder to be always with you at all times in order for us to ensure that you always get the best welding. With that said, thank you all for choosing Turtle's Waterproof Welds for all of your welding needs. We hope to see you again, and have a great day.